What's up, everybody? It's your boy Duel, back here with another video. Today we're going over the Spectacular Spider-Man episode 20 review, and this episode is titled Identity Crisis and directed by Jennifer Coyle and Victor Cook, written by Victor Cook, Greg Weisman, and Stan Lee. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have the video pulled up here. We're just gonna live react to it, baby. So let's go. That's a great headline and great picture, and I love how Jonah is like immediately just jumping on the let's get some views. Let's get some people looking at this. Let's look at the emails. Let's look at the the paper. Let's just get eyes on it. Who cares? We don't actually know. This is what the Bugle does best, right? Just spit out information without the facts with J. Jonah Jameson. So that's interesting. And so Norman Osborn's being interviewed about, the identity of Peter Parker, who is, Spider-Man. And then, if you know anything about Norman Osborn, you know that he's obviously the Green Goblin. And then it cuts to a scene, like, it looks like Peter's locker here, but the title shows Identity Crisis. So I think it's like a double, what do you want to call that? A double entendre, where, it's not only talking about Peter Parker as Spider-Man, but potentially Norman Osborn being the Green Goblins. I don't know. I think it's a nice touch.
Pete! A Bugle reporter asked my dad if you're Spider-Man. Come on.
So I'm sorry, I'm talking so much already, but I just noticed, like, if we go back here just like a couple of seconds, Pete has the Spider-Man mask on him. Like, either that or that's a logo. I'm pretty sure the mask, like, slipped out here. Let me just go back here real quick.
Pete.
Yeah, so the mask slipped out, and he's at school, and... Okay, so this is where sometimes Peter's dumb. Like, I know he still has to be Spider-Man and run out and save people, but I would not be carrying my mask on me at any time right now if I'm being investigated, and maybe this is in the past, but they haven't said that. So... yeah, I don't know what you're thinking, Pete. You need to be hiding that, like, somewhere else. Like, hide it in your underwear or something.
Pete!
Yes, Mr. Brown. Question? Yes, it'll have
So, looks like MJ there's taking a liking to somebody in the class.
to wait till next week.
That's creepy. Why would you be doing that? Why? What reason? Why? Why would you...
Eddie?
Oh, great to see you again.
Where have you been, mister?
That took some downtime.
I gotta say, I don't like how friendly Gwen is with Eddie. Obviously she likes Peter, or at least so we think, but she's a little too chummy with him. What do you think?
Time after the downsizing.
Nobody hugs people like that.
What really happened?
You kidding?
I love the presence that Eddie is leaving right now. Like, he just has Peter in shambles, and like everything that he's been doing up until this point is just going flawlessly, and he is just marveling at it, and it's really nice to see.
Just give us a minute.
They can't have gotten
This would be a good time for Pete to actually show Gwen that he is Spider-Man. Maybe we'll get that. We'll see. And also, I see the little heart that I just noticed. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, guys.
far.
Hey, does Spidey do invisible?
Maybe they went in the student store.
Yeah!
With a swim gym!
Time to kiss. I wonder if this is a good time for Eddie to figure out that he's into Gwen and he's dating Liz. That would be a really good way to ruin his life even more. That would just be brutal. I don't know if they're going to do that, but man. I just want to say right away that I really like this alleyway scene where Eddie is... it's turned around, right? Like, usually it's been Eddie getting the one-up on Peter, but this time Peter gets the one-up on him. So I think that's a nice touch.
Spider-Man.
Am I being punked?
I like how she thinks she's being punked, but I would not be surprised if they later reveal that Aunt May actually knows that Peter is Spider-Man. That would be a nice touch.
Right back with the unmasking.
I mean, Peter does have a point. This is a giant black goo alien monster that is running around beating up Spider-Man, and, you know, the paparazzi, of course, is just eating it up. But still, man, like, I don't give a fuck. If that was me, I'd be freaking out. Like, that is insane.
Good to be home.
Really sucks that Eddie has become who he is. Like, obviously he's Venom, but like before that, like when the show started, he seemed like a really, really good dude with a solid foundation. And it just sucks to see that, you know, the Venom symbiote has corrupted his mind. And obviously there wouldn't be a conflict between him and Peter if that didn't exist. But it's just sad. That's all. Oh no, what's Flash doing? He can't even walk. What is he trying to prove? Oh no, does that mean Venom's gonna come for him? There's no way, right? He's not that dense. There's no way.
Hey, news loser! Yeah, Spidey's gimped up. We'll never have a better chance to take him down.
So I was not considering this. So obviously Venom wouldn't fall for this. But yeah, your average thugs, they definitely would.
Sad, really.
We'll show you sad!
Oh good, Venom's back.
As you love.
It's actually a 500 IQ play by Eddie Brock here. It is, yeah, I never even thought about that. Is he basically wants to purge Peter of his powers, and so go after his friends and family, and he'll have nothing, there's nothing he can do about it. Which, yeah, I mean, he's just gone completely unhinged. So, let's see what happens. It looks like we're halfway through. I gotta say, I'm really liking the fight scenes of this fight. They're just really, really good. Like, this might be the best of Venom we've seen so far in this show, and these are really good fights.
Now, Miss Stacy.
I'm wondering if Gwen just figured out that that's Peter because she can recognize his voice, but I guess we'll find out. She stood there a little long.
Tasty.
I think the whole thing is that Peter is, maybe this is unintentional, and I could be on a stretch here, is that he's kind of showing the monster that Venom is, and maybe more demonstrating that Peter is more the hero here. I could be wrong. They're both tussling, right? It could go either way, but so far it seems to be that the general audience in consensus is that they're in favor of Spider-Man. So maybe by the end of the episode, they're gonna say, "Hey, you know what? Leave the guy alone. He's saved a helicopter and he's saved some people. He's saving lives. We are not gonna out his identity." You know, in this world, probably not, but maybe in a TV show setting, it could work. I guess we'll see. Also, I really love the 3D effects they're using in this episode. They really did pull out all the stops, and I really appreciate it. It's really cool. Oh no, are we gonna get a Peter Parker reveal, or why can't I think it was Flash? Is he gonna come in for the save here? What's about to happen? Let's find out. Well, how does a gene cleanser work on Venom? Because isn't his powers just inherited from Peter? So couldn't the symbiote just get back on Peter, get the powers, and then go back to Eddie Brock? Like, I'm not really sure how that works.
Eddie, it's over. You're free. You can stop this. Stop hating.
Can't. It only loves me for the hate.
I'm not really sure how to digest that. So two things. So one, Peter is not like infinitely mad at Eddie. And I guess that makes sense. Like, it's not his fault. He knows he's being controlled by the symbiote. And then the second thing is like, so Eddie is not immediately hating Peter right away. He just hates him to get the symbiote on him to feel better. So that's kind of weird. Because before he got the symbiote back, it kind of seemed like he was all for hating him, but and there's just a lot to unpack here. Like, how does the gene cleanser work? Does it just, I guess, he took the gene cleanser and so it rejects his body and it doesn't really cleanse the hate? So I'm not really sure how that works, but you know, this is a cartoon, so maybe I shouldn't be thinking too hard about it.
We're missing a vial of gene cleanser. I feel I have no choice. Security has been, well, abysmal under your watch. I'm asking the university board to turn over day-to-day management of the lab to me.
But Kurt built this lab. You can't.
I'm sorry, but I can.
That's obviously gonna come back to bite them. That guy is super creepy. I don't like him at all, and that's definitely foreshadowing for something in a future episode. And also, if he would have seen the security footage, he would have seen that it was Eddie Brock who just got arrested. Like, use your brain, dude.
I just thing was problematic. But I've come to realize that if Spider-Man's true identity was revealed, everyone he cared about would be in constant danger. Maybe a man in a mask doesn't have something to hide, but something to protect. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir.
Before Peter talks, and I know this episode is wrapping up, I love Gwen Stacy, or not Gwen Stacy. I do love Gwen Stacy, but I love Captain Stacy. He is just the best thing in this entire show. Like, him and Jonah are like top tier characters in the show. Like, Captain Stacy is so smart, and I love the way that he's written. And I wish they would do this in the movies or something. Even in the games, it would be nice for them to do this with. But man, he's so good. He's so on top of it. It's not that he's hiding his identity. He's hiding to protect the people that are attached to his identity. And man, that is so true and so solid. And Captain Stacy is just the best. He kind of has Pete dead to rights here. Okay, so yeah, final thoughts on the episode. Really, really good. I mean, this was probably a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, there's not I didn't really get to talk a whole lot. There's not a bunch of key plot points, and that's really just because they're just fighting. Spidey and Venom are fighting like the entire episode, and there's like no dialogue. There's nothing to really talk about other than the fights being just completely awesome. There's like some 3D effects thrown in there. What they do with the environments, like where they're fighting, I think, you know, they're fighting throughout the entirety of the school. They end up at Kurt Connor's lab, and you know they're fighting in the street. Venom's interacting with the public, dealing with Peter's identity crisis. Like, yeah, this is a solid. This might be the best episode in the entire series that I've seen, and maybe it gets better from here, and I hope it does. But yeah, this was really, really good. Solid follow up to last week, where last week was kind of a dud. And they really just delivered, like, hey, just hold on a little longer and we'll give you the you know, last week was, you know, you got your mashed potatoes and your macaroni and cheese. This was the filet mignon, the steak of the season. And it is just so good. You know, Jonah kind of being dumb as per usual. But Gwen Stacy, or damn, I keep saying Gwen. Captain Stacy, man, he's just a character, and you cannot get anything by him. So I think the key takeaways from people that may actually learn that Peter is Spidey will be Captain Stacy, Gwen Stacy, and Aunt May. Those are probably the three people that will actually, maybe by the end of the show, I don't know, will actually know that, you know, his true identity. But yeah, loved all the Venom stuff. Every single time that Venom almost tries to get his way, it just doesn't go the way that he hoped, trying to ruin Peter's life and out his identity. And then I guess because Flash is wearing the Spider-Man suit, it just proves that anybody can be wearing the Spidey costume, even though Flash is built differently than Spider-Man. Yeah, I digress. But yeah, no. Final thoughts, 10 out of 10 episode. Captain Stacy, just great. Pete, great. Fights, great. The animation is great. And there's no cliffhanger for this episode, really, other than the symbiote getting into the sewer system. So, I mean, I'm not really sure what that means. Like, is it just going to leave the drain and find Eddie in the insane asylum where, you know, other villains return? I'm sure Venom will be back. This is definitely not going to be the last we're going to see of him. But as of now, Venom is thwarted. Not for good, but he will be back. And I can't wait to see in what capacity, how that happens. But anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, feel free to like and subscribe. You're not obligated to, but it really helps out the channel a lot. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.